Hey guys, Marco here. Today we're gonna show you how to calibrate the DIY 3D Touch Probe. This is a 2024 version. Not really sure how good it's gonna be in the long run, but I'll show you a few measurements so you can make up your mind whether this is a good probe for you or not. So let me explain to you the setup first. Obviously, before we do anything, you want to make sure that this thing is concentric. I will insert here a quick video of the run out. But pure luck, I got it pretty tight. Just want to show you. I'm going to bring the probe into me a little bit, so that should increase. There you go. Let's leave it right there. So there's some tension on it, and let's see if I spin that around. Yeah, I don't know, what does it say, like a 1/10 or no, actually less than 1/10. I mean, I didn't get nothing. That's but pure luck. I mean, I was trying, but I don't know how I ended up on that one. So I don't know, must have gotten lucky. I got it as close to 0 as possible with a 10,000 dial test indicator. So anyway, the setup here, I have an 1-inch front to back gauge block, a 45 and 55 gauge block here run together, which is another inch, and then in between I have a 1/2 inch, 350 and a 150, which makes another inch. So basically what I'm doing, I'm making it a little tight, a 1-inch square there that I can use to measure. Let's talk about repeatability first. And so if I do probe the edge of this gauge block in the X minus direction, obviously I have the see auto 0 on, so it will set my X to 0. I just did this a second ago, and every time that I do a probing like that, it will set the X back to 0. But now the machine coordinates might or might not be different. So these are absolute coordinates, 211, 230. That's what we got the last time that we did probe the left side of that gauge block. So now we're going to do it again. We got to get off a machine coordinate first. We're going to do it again. It'll probe that gauge block again, set this to 0 again in whatever position I think it is machine coordinate wise. We'll be able to get back here and see if this absolute coordinate is still the same once more. And the difference between the two is pretty much the repeatability of the mechanics of the machine. So let's do it now. I'm gonna click on this. Yes. And so we're doing the same thing we just did a minute ago off camera, where we set our coordinate to 0, or G54 to 0. And our machine coordinate, we just looked at it. Let's see what it is now. 211, 243, and I forget what it was before. Looked it up, it was 211.230, which is a 0.013 millimeters off in X after the second touch off. That is like half a thousand off, 5/10 thousandths of an inch off. Having done this a few times, most of the time it's about 2/10,000, but in this case, you have a 10,000. Still not bad. But now we have done this test, we can try to dial in the stylus tip as close as possible to actually take some measurements for this, repeatability. The diameter of the stylus did not matter much, but for measurement it does. And so that's what we're going to do next. What we can do, we can now probe side to side here, side to side here, and side to side here. This 1 inch square that we have right here. And then, as you can see, the stylus tip is not 2 millimeters, it's actually a little bit less to compensate for the over travel. I figure that 1.873 works well with a 200 millimeter per second, sorry, millimeter per minute, that would be it, and a slow speed of 30 to pretty much give me some good numbers. So as you can see, these are my previous test. 1 inch square is 25.4, so I'm off by very little. This is like less than 2/10, and this is like almost a 0 in thousandths of an inch. So we're gonna run that test again. We're gonna use this one first and that one first, and we'll see how good those numbers repeat. Again, all of that is with the calculated stylus tip of 1.873. And what we need to do, we need to put the stylus in the center of the square, and I'll do that in just a second. Alright, we're putting the stylus in the center. Let's see, we gotta move X just about right there. Actually, I want to be a little bit off to the side. I don't want to catch these knots here when I do the front to back Y measurement. And let's drop it in. That's probably good enough. All right, very well. We have the probe inside the 1 inch square. Let's do a X measurement first. Before we do this, we need to get rid of machine coordinates. All right, that works well. So now it goes to the right, and what we want is X length there as close as possible to 1 inch, which is 25.4. All right, should be here in just a sec. 25.423. Let's take a look at what that is. All right, 25.423, that is 9/10 thousandths of an inch. It reaches 9/10 thousandths of an inch bigger. All right, now we're gonna do the same thing in Y. But I want to move the probe a little bit. Move the probe a little bit to the left to avoid that notch right there. All right, same thing, front to back this time. Click that, and again, what we want to see is this number to be as close as possible to 25.4. Let's go back to the other side. And let's just see what we have here. All right, in this case, 25.401, that's right on the money. Normally what you see is these two numbers to be pretty close to each other. Just for the hell of it, let's just do another front to back and see what that does. All right, I'm sorry, not front to back, but X. See if that repeats to get a little closer to the 5.4, sorry. Alright, I mean, that's pretty close. That's like half a thou, more or less. So normally if you're that farther off than that, what you want to do is take however much you're off. So it's 25.416. I would take the 0.016, subtract that from the stylus tips. In this case, would be 1.873 minus 0.16 if I really want to get that as close as possible, and set that as a stylus tip dimension. Now I'm not going to do that because it's pretty good in this direction and it's fairly good in that direction. So 1.873 inches works, I'm sorry, millimeter works well for me right now. Again, so far it's repeating fairly good. Not sure for the long-term reliability. I order a pack of set screws. They're supposed to be a little bit better in case those trips, and looking forward to start using this probe in actual operations now. Well, hope you got something out of it. Give you some ideas on whether you would like to purchase this type of probe or not, and I'll see you next time.